Deep Roy plays the Oompa Loompas.
I've worked with Deep Roy a couple of times, and I just find him to be a very compelling-looking, interesting person.
I came here and walked into the rehearsal room, and there was Deep Roy, and you go, and the rest of them?
Tim decided right at a very early stage there was only going to be one person cast as an Oompa Loompa, and then every Oompa Loompa would be almost an exact clone of Deep Roy. There would be no women or children, they would just be a tribe of Deep Roys.
Well, the Oompa Loompas, I mean, were obviously important to the story, and just felt that part of the real quality is important. So I liked the idea, though, that they all looked the same.
It was a cool idea. Took me by surprise. I was under the impression that I'm going to be other Oompa Loompas.
Deep Roy had to endure torment and torture.
Going through all the dance routines, they just work at him.
He had to, well, just have the longest days with so many different disciplines thrown at him.
Deep has never worked in this way.
Even though I can move, for this movie I had to learn how to sing and dance.
We came and rehearsed him for about 3 months before we started shooting and teaching him things that he'd never really done before, you know.
It's really hard, but you'll get used to it.
Little Deep is doing an amazing job.
I think he had the hardest job on the movie, really.
He had to train as a mountaineer. He had to learn to cut hair,
Playing maracas, playing bongos.
Doing Pilates in the morning.
dive onto boxes like a stuntman.
There's so many different types of dance and instruments. We're playing the gamelan,
He plays 5 parts in a rock band.
teaching him keyboards, playing the lead guitar, playing the bass guitar, the drum kit.
I choreograph it with Deep, and we show it to Tim.
Okay, all right. You see, hear that? I'll get it correct next time. I knew I could dance, but I never knew that I could do the steps.
It's fun when we've got dancers in to dance with Deep, to be all his other selves, or to be some of his other selves. That's quite fun, because it's nice for him to be in a kind of gang of people.
I think it'll go nicely with the horrible squirrel attack.
Augustus Gloop, the great big green nincompoop.
Yes.
Augustus Gloop, so big and vile, so gritty, foul and infant.
Yes.
Pretty bad singer. I surprised myself. I thought, man, I can't hold a tune either.
I've been teaching him percussion, and Francesca's been looking at the movement for the percussion, because he'll be doing a bit of drumming in it, and he's got really good, actually.
Jane worked on different rhythms, and we came up with Oompa Loompa.
Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa.
Just visualising the fact that we may be working in this room with one person, but actually trying to see loads of him. That's the hardest thing.
It didn't seem a problem to begin with that there was only one character. It was only when we began to realise the scale of the dances. Shooting Deep Roy on overscale set pieces, doing multiple motion control passes on him to replicate him and to put him into, you know, the shots in numerous different positions.
So you can imagine it's an organisational headache. Replicating him numerous times. I mean, in some plates, I think we have 56 or 57 repeat passes of Deep Roy in order to make up that one shot. You know, so you can imagine how shoot-intensive this all was.
He had a lot of work to do, I mean, because he literally did, you know, every time you see him, he did that.
Just go to your right a little bit more. Good.
For example, if we had a shot that had a dozen Deeps in it and it was a tracking movement, we would take that piece of the song, and then Deep would play each individual character on each spot, one after the other. However, we would then have to go between each take and check to make sure he was in sync with the movements of the last take. So we not only had the problems of lip sync, but we also had the problems of physical movement synchronization. So it was a huge undertaking, and as I said, would often involve doing 60, 70 takes per pass.
It was hard work, yes. You know, you did 1, we did 2, 3, 10, 12, 13, but it was cool.
When we started to talk to Tim about the project, we knew that we could always use digital compositing to put the real Oompas into the boat, but it would be a tremendous advantage if we were able to make small animatronic Oompas at the right size. In building the animatronics, we would build something at true Oompa scale, which was 30 inches high, and that would allow us to shoot directly with real actors.
The amount of power it would take to convert energy into matter would be like 9 atomic bombs.
Mumbler! Seriously, I cannot understand a single word you're saying.
These are the 54 Oompa Loompas that we made for the boat. They're the rowing Oompas. They have the little mechanisms inside them that allow them to be drawn forward and backwards by the motion of the oars. This guy we've created just as a half puppet. His jaw will sort of move side to side and in and out, which allows us to chew. And we watch Deep when he did this, and we sort of look really closely at the kind of expressions he pulls and try to emulate them.
Trying to get all of those things so that if we cut between the animatronics and we cut between the real Deep Roy, that you wouldn't hopefully see a jolt. And if those things were right, then the audience would enjoy it, just be more interested in the storytelling rather than the effects.
How do you make an Oompa Loompa? That was one of our major tasks. And each of the songs for us was just a vast undertaking, and I hope people get a huge amount of enjoyment out of them.
I never had a singing or a dancing experience before. It's neat, you know, I'll do it all over again, yes, without a doubt, yeah.
We tried to take it to a different level, having as much reality on the set as we could. To meet Deep Roy is an Oompa Loompa.
Aren't they delightful? Aren't they charming?